Now we'll present players to watch in the second half. And here you've got Kendall Hunter, who came in averaging 147 a game. He's got 15 for 68 yards so far. And Daniel Thomas, 13 rushes for 45 yards so far today. Certainly below his average that is second in the Big 12. Now, eharmony.com with the first half stats here. And you see that figure of 168 passing for OSU, 118 rushing. Kansas State with the time of possession. Let's send it down to Emily Jones, who had a chance, I believe, to visit with Coach Gundy.
Well, that's right. Coach Gundy said, I feel like we played well offensively in the first half. We just don't have anything to show for it because of the 2 touchdowns and failing to convert on that 4th and 1. And he said, basically, we just need to take care of the football on offense. As far as the defense is concerned, he said we've got to run to the football and then make the play when we get there, guys.
Thanks, Emily. Cowboys trying to shake off the loss to Nebraska last week. Coming in at 6-1, 2-1 in the league. And, of course, Kansas State losing to Baylor. And Baylor, by the virtue of having played one more game there, is the Big 12 South leader at 3-1 as they get ready for a critical game with Texas tonight in Austin. You see that here. Kick goes to Quarles, and Quarles, the 32-yard line on the return. And let's take a look and see if Carson Kaufman takes the field, because you see the bad limp that the quarterback brings with it.
Itching to get along, no question about that. So will Carson Kaufman be able to loosen up? That left leg looks like it's really bothering him. Looks like he's really dragging it. He's out there. He's pulling the John Wayne. He's out there on the football field playing hurt right now. How much of his mobility will be diminished?
And although not a great runner, he has run for 128 yards this year and 7 touchdowns. As you look at Daniel Thomas on the first down carry, we'll take a look at the first half possessions here that K-State took a while to get it going.
They did. Look, you got one. You have 3 and out or less. Of course, one was right before halftime, but the only drive they get going, a 10-play, 62-yard touchdown drive, overcame a penalty, and that was key. Boy, Oklahoma State's defense has been salty.
Yeah, and that turnover is what gave K-State the one reasonable field position that the Wildcats had. They took advantage of it. They played it out of the backfield to Wilson. And Wilson knocked out at the 40-yard line by Hedgepeth. Let's take another look at our keys to the game that we talked about earlier. See how they're measuring up.
Yeah, the first thing they want to do is early success, and they scored first. That was good. They haven't really played keep away with their offense, but they got extra possessions. Their defense getting that plus turnover margin. Big plays. Oklahoma State, 3 plays over 20 yards, and a defensive struggle like this, that's probably too many.
You know, Oklahoma State averages 529 yards per game total offense. Kansas State's at 386.
And Oklahoma State had over 280 yards in the first half.
Out of the Wildcat, Daniel Thomas, the direct snap. Moves ahead, first down easily to the 48-yard line. Shane Jarka makes the tackle.
I'll tell you, Daniel Thomas runs behind his pads so well. He has a great body lean, and at 230 pounds, he is a load. And he finishes every single run. Left guard Zach Kendall pulling around the horn, gets it going. Daniel Thomas always comes out of a horde of bodies, you know. I mean, he's the one that pops out of there like a cork every time.
1st and 10. Thomas tripped up.
Great play.
Martin.
Man, that was just outstanding. Markel Martin took the blocker out and the running back in one fell swoop. We have an injured Oklahoma State linebacker down. But watch number 10 in the white jersey come on run support, take out the fullback, boom, and take out the running back. Make that spare. I mean, you talk about bowling. He went bowling and knocked 2 down. Take out the pins. And that's just tremendous. I mean, that's a 250-pound fullback that he's knocking to the turf right there, and a 254-pound fullback and a 230-pound running back. Boom, boom.
Shane Jarka, the injured Cowboy that Bill Young had told us, the defensive coordinator, about what a big miss he was when he went down with an injury earlier this season, then came back and still not 100%, but he's such a good leader and such an outstanding player. He's provided this team a big lift anyway, even though he hasn't produced great numbers. Many times your defensive linemen don't do anyway, but that's not a good sign with them looking on the knee, is it, Dave?
No, Bill said that he's playing on one leg. He goes, he's got a bad knee, but he's sucking it up, and he's showing leadership, and he's out there playing. But that time, the knee just didn't hold up on that snap, and will he be able to come back to the fray? knowing him, he's going to give it every single possible effort, but let's see what happens to him. And it's usually, you know, amongst right here, you see that peel back block, and it's not an illegal play, but boy, you know, you come back and on a peel back block and hit him below the waist. I bet Jarker feels like, you know what, if you could hit me up high, I would have liked it a lot better than trying to take my wheel out from me. And you see he's got that brace on his right knee, and they were checking out his left knee.
6'3", 298, senior out of Sugar Land, Texas. And we'll pick it up now with a 2nd down and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Wildcats for K-State. Kaufman. Complete to Hilburn. Gang tackled and tossed out of bounds at the 45 of Oklahoma State. Broderick Brown leading the charge for the Pokes.
That's a good play right there because, you know, you didn't get anything on 1st down. Get a chunk of it and make it 3rd and makeable. You know, 3rd and 4 you can convert. 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 becomes a much dicier proposition. So Kansas State back on schedule a little bit.
3rd and 3 at the 45. Second half, first possession for Kansas State, tied at 7. Play action, Kaufman got hammered and a flag thrown. They'll tack on yardage here as Kaufman got hammered just as he released the football.
Yep, roughing the quarterback.
Was covering in the secondary, but
roughing the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 41, blow to the head. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And it's Ori Lemon, and he knows better. You can't hit the quarterback in the headgear. They're going to call it every single time. Ori Lemon on the blitz. Ori Lemon comes down. Oh, he actually chops him in the shoulder pads. I don't know. That one's a little bit iffy. You know, I can see where the call could be made. Anytime you hit him up high like that, you're susceptible. But he said blow to the head. Looked like the blow ended up in the shoulder pads more than the head, but you saw Kaufman's head jack back a little bit.
Well, Kansas State's only score, they took advantage of a turnover. Here, do they take advantage of this big penalty? Daniel Thomas forges ahead to the 28-yard line on a 1st and down that started the 30. Lemon making the tackle on this play.
Oklahoma State had 6 penalties in the 1st half. Way too many. They self-destructed. I mean, they moved between the 20s well. And they'd get down into scoring zone or close to it, and they'd have a self-destruction penalty. That penalty is huge right there. 7 penalties in a little over a half of football. You can't do that. Kansas State at home is too tough to self-destruct like that against.
Wildcats coming in 5-2. Oklahoma State 6-1. Now facing a 2nd down and 8. Kaufman and Daniel Thomas. Thomas shook off one would-be defender and stopped at the 25-yard line. Justin Gent, senior from Irving, Texas, out of MacArthur High School, makes the tackle.
One thing about Daniel Thomas you don't have to worry about is him tiring out. This kid has as much endurance for a running back as I think I've ever seen. I mean, he runs as hard and fast in the 4th quarter as he does in the 1st quarter. He is a well-conditioned machine, I'm telling you.
The average is well over 20 carries a game. And he is one of those guys, Dave, I think sometimes he gains power as the game goes on and he gets in a rhythm.
Is there a legal substitution? 12 men in the field for Oklahoma State. That'd be penalty number 8 if that's the case. There it goes, 12th leaving the field. Had too many men out there.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 men in the formation, 5-yard penalty. The yardage results in a 1st down.
Sean Lewis was lined up in a defensive formation, and that's the difference. You can run them off the field, but if they line up in a formation, a defensive configuration with 12 guys, they're going to get nailed.
So 1st and 10 now at the 20. Daniel Thomas, by the way, has moved up in the record books. 2,220 yards rushing. He started the day number 7. He's passed Isaac Jackson and J.J. Smith today. And a little negative on that one as Sean Lewis makes the tackle. And another flag thrown.
Two flags, if they both saw the same thing or not.
after the play. Personal foul. Defense, number 42. It's half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Justin, you can't do that. You have a roughing the quarterback, then you have 12 men in the huddle in the formation, and then you go personal foul, late hit. I mean, that's just basically, and that's a cheapie. You got to call that one. I mean, you just can't do that. You have to keep your composure, and Oklahoma State is self-destructed on this drive.
Well, certainly not the way Mike Gundy had planned to see his team come out to start the second half.
9 penalties now, 3 in this drive, 9 penalties.
Kansas State, first down. Way to go, and here's Thomas. I mean, the defense is making plays. If they just don't make penalties,
right,
that'd be a superb effort. Lewis, the tackler.
They're playing hard, Bill, but they're not playing smart. And Bill Young is all about discipline and playing smart, knowing what you're doing and playing fast. But as you can see, when they do it right, they hit their gaps, they get off their blocks, and they make tackles. That's tough to tackle Daniel Thomas in space like that one-on-one. That's a great play. Bill Young's not happy.
I'll tell you that he prides himself in trying to just put players in a position to keep it simple and make plays. Kaufman. Incomplete. Intended for Quarles. Brown covering.
Well, we talked about red zone, Bill. Both teams got in the red zone once in the first half, and they both finalized for touchdowns. So they're 1 for 1, and their touchdown conversion percentage will increase. I mean, Oklahoma State came in converting 70% of the time touchdown, 97% overall. Kansas State over 91% conversion, and converting touchdown over 60% of the time. And they're not going to hurt those numbers with their first half effort.
3rd and 13. 3rd and goal from the 13, I should say, as Kaufman. And it's caught at the, well, let's say forward progress at about the 8-yard line. Hilburn. They could actually get a first down inside the 1-yard line is the way it's set up. But it's a 4th down here.
Yeah.
You got to take the 3, right?
Yeah, you got to take the 3. And Oklahoma State bent because of themselves. They self-bent, but at least they didn't break.
So Josh Cherry, senior from McCook, Nebraska, comes on for what'll be a 24-yard field goal. And
hooked it.
No good.
Hooked it. Wow.
Cherry, his first miss of the season. He was 6 of 6. And the game remains tied at 7. And Kansas State, if they don't win, will look back on this drive that was wrapped up and given to them, and they didn't take advantage of it. Wow. Stay with us. All even still. Kansas State, here on homecoming, had the ball for nearly 6 minutes, but could not score on the opening drive. And now Oklahoma State gets it back after the missed field goal. 1st and 10 from the Pokes' 20-yard line. Whedon delivers. Bowling got the first down. Now, we're wondering about Kaufman and his ankle injury, and they took him off the field. And we've got a shot of where we think he might have gotten it knocked pretty hard. Take a look here.
Yeah, and as he's blocking right here, you'll see right there, the left ankle as he's blocking in the Wildcat for Daniel Thomas. He gets rolled up.
We'll take another look as Hunter carries here to the 35-yard line, but go back to Kaufman.
Okay, left ankle planted. Okay, does he get it off the ground before it's rolled? No, starts to roll a little bit. Is that where the injury occurred? I mean, he's definitely got a lower body injury, an ankle injury. Interesting to see if he'll be able to return. I think they took him in to get it retaped probably. 2nd
and 6 for the Pokes now. Game tied at 7. Can they take advantage of their defense that held, even though they committed some penalties? Kendall Hunter trying to find an opening and does. 40. Hunter, little stutter step, and across midfield is Kendall Hunter before Tyson Hartman wraps him up.
You know, one thing that Justin Blackman does as a receiver, he removes safeties from the box because you have to worry about him in coverage. Kendall Hunter has had to deal with the safeties all day today. The safeties have been a pain in his side. This time they get him past the secondary level into the 3rd level. Those safeties, though, they're more of an issue than he's had to deal with all season today.
Randall gives Hunter a breather, and on a first down, the pass is complete to Isaiah Anderson at the 39. Sweeney makes the tackle there. That'll move the chains. Our first half possessions for OSU. It took the last one to get them on the board.
Fumble, fumble. Defense holds on the first one. They give up a touchdown on the second one, and they finally get that touchdown drive. 6 plays, 67 yards.
Randall stopped at the 37-yard line. Randall and Hunter, a pretty good combo. Randall, the freshman, playing maybe a little bit more than he might have expected coming into Oklahoma State as a true freshman from Wichita. And knowing a guy like Kendall Hunter, an All-American 2 years ago, was the guy.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I like him as a receiver too. He's only a true freshman. You can't put him out there as a slot receiver. That'd be brain overload. He's trying to learn running back.
2nd and 8. Whedon, little underthrown, got some pressure put on him that time too.
Yeah, it came with the blitz. It was Childs came with the linebacker blitz, and he wasn't picked up by Kendall Hunter. Little play action fake to Hunter. He couldn't adjust to pick up Childs. As a result, Whedon's throwing, falling away from the line of scrimmage off his back foot, and he's inaccurate.
Cowboys now a 3rd down and 8 at the 36-yard line. They are 5 of 9 in 3rd down conversion chances here today. K-State's own blitz.
Yep.
Whedon still got it off, and it's complete. Cooper makes the grab as Whedon took a shot, but Cooper takes the football to the 26 and a 1st down. Oklahoma State. Hartman covering.
Watch a couple of things here. He rolls, he's on the right hash mark, throwing to the left sideline. That ball's in the air a long time. It's supposed to be in a long time, but that's a frozen rope. That shows your arm strength. Right hash mark to left sideline, and he's throwing it while he's getting hit. I'm telling you, he has a howitzer hanging off that right shoulder. He can spin the ball.
1st and 10 at the 26. Whedon comes back to Harrison for the completion. Hartman making the stop, and Michael Harrison out of Atlanta, redshirt freshman with the grab. 1st and 10 line brought to you by Phillips Televisions. The Cowboys, good-looking drive on their first possession of the half.
Both teams scored in the red zone. Kansas State didn't. Their first opportunity, what Oklahoma State did.
2nd and 2, Kendall Hunter just got ankle tackled at about the 13, or he might have taken it in.
Zimmerman again, wasn't it? And Bryant Ward, the big back, who does a good job for Oklahoma State. Bryant Ward with another great block. Watch 37 on the kickout block. Boom. Kendall Hunter makes miss, and you have an unblocked safety in the hole, and Kendall Hunter makes a miss. He's dealing with safeties today more than he has all year because Blackman's not in the game.
Hunter ran for 201 in the loss to Nebraska last week against an outstanding defense. Randall breaks a tackle at the 5. Randall spinning forward. A flag is thrown when he got hit, and he'll be down near the 4. Sweeney, the tackler.
Boy, Childs missed the tackle. Linebacker missed the tackle in space. Didn't wrap his arms up. What's the penalty flag going to be?
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Lane Taylor with the hold. The 10th penalty on Oklahoma State. 10 penalties. There's still 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Self-destruction. Watch Childs, number 26, the linebacker. Whoops. See ya. Missed tackle. Out. Makes one miss. Childs doesn't wrap him up, and he's off to the races. Great individual effort that was nullified by penalty.
Whedon, 16 of 26 for 208 yards. 1 TD. Looking to throw here. Across the middle. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Cooper with the TD.
Man, I'll tell you, Lemur had an opportunity at it, and it had too many RPMs on it. But it starts with protection. I mean, the protection was outstanding. Nobody was within 5 yards of the quarterback. Nice route. Look at him zip it in there. Lemur, he just can't get there because it's a fastball, and it's on the black. It's on the edge, and Cooper makes the catch. What a throw and catch, but it started with protection.
Dan Bailey, 47 of 47 on the season and perfect in his career. Stays that way, and Oklahoma State, after having K-State miss a field goal, brings it back, goes 80 yards and scores.
Fastball. Touchdown. What a throw. He can.
For the Oklahoma State scoring drive, and Whedon, a 13-yard TD pass to Josh Cooper, and the Pokes, 17th ranked in the country, take the lead. Sharp kicks it off. Powell, a couple yards deep in the end zone, bringing it out. Sneaking up the sideline, tackled across the 27, 28-yard line. Let's send it down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, I've been doing some investigating here down on the sidelines, trying to figure out exactly when it was Carson Kaufman suffered that injury. And I remember back in the first quarter when he took off, tucked the ball, and scrambled a little bit, had a nice little scramble down on Kansas State's side of the field. And then he came up just a little bit gimpy, seemed like he was favoring that knee a little bit, but, you know, brushed it off and continued to play. And now that the game is worn on and we're seeing that Carson Kaufman has now been taken to the locker room for evaluation, seemed to pinpoint that that is probably where the injury occurred. Perhaps as the game wore on, it continued to bother him, so they're looking at it right now.
You're right, Emily. He took a shot on his right knee on that play. He took a hit.
He's back in, hands it off here to Daniel Thomas at the 33-yard line. And Kaufman, you see here, one thing though, Dave, is that with this offense and Daniel Thomas running the Wildcat, Bill Snyder still has some options because he's got other plays available where he can take Kaufman out if he wants a play or two, and and just see what he can get out of it.
Right, and if he puts Klein in like he did, he has two runners in the backfield. Kaufman's not really a runner, but Klein and Daniel Thomas are both good runners of the football. He can do a lot of zone read stuff, run the option, things of that nature, so he does have some versatility.
Pitches it here to Harper. Harper running out of room and out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line, it looks like, as Darius Hart makes the tackle.
Well, Bill Snyder always has a couple of gadgets. We saw him shift his Wildcat, you know, with Kaufman and Daniel Thomas, and then run a little zone read, and they kind of followed Kaufman and got fooled at linebacker, went for like 40 yards, nullified by penalty. There's this little reverse to the short side of the field. Oklahoma State, Bill Young's group, well coached. Everybody gap sound, not very many yards.
3rd and 5 now. Kaufman off the fingertips that time of Quarles. Lemon makes the stop.
Well, you can see when you have a quarterback has an injury to his lower body, the stride, the follow through, everything is altered. Can't put as much mustard on the football. I mean, your passing game starts with your feet and your legs. If your feet and your legs are bothering you, your mechanics are going to suffer.
Josh Cooper is deep. Dorr is the punter. High kick. Fair catch, and takes it around the 18-yard line. We'll take a brief timeout here on Big 12 College Football Saturday. Oklahoma State with the ball in the lead, 14-7.